There we go. And we are live Thursday, February 23rd, the new time, 4 p.m. Mountain, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's prime time some places. It's just getting to the end of the workday other places. I hope everybody's doing well. Had to laugh in the chat. 150 times rollover. I can't believe that was a thing. That was definitely going to be the comment to beat in terms of the chat that is coming up. Amazing what some people go through at some of these sports books. Nevertheless, let's get to a couple things before we get to some of the setups that we're going to get into today. First and foremost, the service is off to a fantastic start, 9-3. This is the paid service, 2 bets pending tonight after a winner earlier in the day. And I want to remind everybody that there has been a lot of feedback so far that getting the releases from the paid service significantly easier than the show here on the release shows. Obviously, a lot more people watching the release shows. As always, Red Angle Sports, we have the refund policy in place. If you join at any time, you can request a prorated refund. So if you're someone who's had a little bit of difficulty getting the release prices, that weighed into your decision. Keep that in mind as the service continues to go on a daily basis now into March Madness. And all the details can be found over at raspicks.com/order. So after the show, be sure to go over and check that out. We have new release show times going on, 6 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays, Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern. We'll bump it ahead a little bit. So the releases from the paid service will go first. Release show here will follow on YouTube. What I will say is if you have not already subscribed, the button is down below. With conference tournaments coming up, we have days where Lions get released in a bunch early in the morning for all these games that roll over day after day. So there's plenty of potential for the unplanned release shows here on YouTube. So if you are not yet subscribed, hit the button down below. You'll get the notification for any release shows that we do unplanned. We'll try to get all the regular channels as usual, but I highly recommend hitting the subscribe button down below. With all of that said, let's get to the new release procedure for this show. We've had a lot of things coming back, a lot of feedback. We're going to try something different on this show because it's later in the day. What we're going to do is start by telling you the game to set up. There's obviously the chance for a side or a total on either team, either the over, the under. So I'll start by telling you what game and what time we're going to be looking at for a potential bet. The go, cancel, and opposite still in effect, but we'll start by telling you the game, and then we'll go a little bit quicker on the setup and the go, cancel, or opposite after that. So we'll get everybody to the game to start, and then we'll tell you what the setup is. We'll tell you if it's a go, cancel, or opposite after that. So we'll give it a try for this show. We'll see how it goes. It's something that we're always looking to improve to allow everyone a better chance to get the odds here on the show. So again, we'll start with the game and the time. We'll go into the setup, and then we'll go, cancel, or opposite from that as well, which should make it easier for people to follow. So let's pull up the odds screen, and we will get to the first setup of the show. Let's clear the board as there is always a ton of movement going on. So the game that we are looking at to start with the first setup, the game is 755-756 North Texas at Charlotte, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. 755-756 North Texas, Charlotte, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Give everybody 10 more seconds to find this game within their sports book. The first setup, game number 755 North Texas, Charlotte, over 110. First setup is 755 North Texas, Charlotte, over 110. And 755 North Texas, Charlotte, over 110 is a go. We are betting North Texas, Charlotte, over 110. This is a go. If you've got it in your bet slip, submit it immediately, as we're going to start to see this total now light up across the board. North Texas, Charlotte, over 110 is the first bet of this show from the first setup. Let us know in the chat how that went for everybody. Very curious to know what you were getting, where you were getting it. 109 starting to show up a ton within the chat right now. PointsBet, MGM, FanDuel, DK, PPH, a number of others showing up at 109.5, 110 showing up as well, starting to pop in to the channel, as well as people were able to get that at a number of different books seeing the 109.5 as well as the 110 starting to show up too in the chat. We'll move on to the next setups. A lot to get to this Thursday, but keep letting us know in the chat where you were getting it, what you were able to get as we work on this new release procedure. But North Texas, Charlotte over 110, the first go of the day. Move on to the next setup. Starting off with the game, 827-828 Cal Bakersfield at Cal Northridge, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Game number 827-828 Cal Bakersfield, Cal Northridge, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Give you a couple more seconds to find 827-828 Cal Bakersfield, Cal Northridge, 10 p.m. Next setup, game number 828 Cal Northridge -1. Setting up 828 Cal Northridge -1. Game number 828 Cal Northridge -1 is a go. We're betting Northridge -1. If you got it in your bet slip, submit it immediately. Cal State Northridge -1, the second go from two setups here on this Thursday show as this number starts to move up, but we're seeing a couple books lagging behind, which is a little bit uncharacteristic. Cal State Northridge -1. This should be pretty successful for everybody, including Tim Fraley, who's back for another show, getting the -1. A ton of ones showing up, including -105. Seeing a lot of that too. People going money line as well that they're showing up in the chat too. -1 at stations for Justin, -1 for Devin, back for another show as well. Looks like a lot of -1s showing up in the chat as this game now gets up to 2 and 2.5 as well across the board. So Cal State Northridge -1 is the second bet of this Thursday show. For those of you who had the two bets on the card, there were some prop numbers swirling around in Discord as well as in the chat. You would have cashed that exactly 2 bets for this Thursday show. Before you go, in the description of this podcast, there's a link to a review. It'll take you to a 30-second form to fill out. It'll help us a ton with understanding if this was a better method. Was it a worse method? Let us know what you thought of this by filling out that form below. Again, it'll take 30 seconds of your time. If you enjoyed the shows, it'll only help make them better as we continue to look for ways to make this work for everybody here on the show. So if you have a few seconds, hit that down below and help us by filling that out. With all that said, North Texas, Charlotte over 110, Cal State Northridge -1. 2 bets for tonight on the Thursday card. And be sure to go over raspicks.com/order for the service. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by this Thursday. We will see you Saturday at the new time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time.